It is time for another Wealthy Wednesday with our BMF family, the first member of our family. And what do I mean by BMF? Big Money Family. So don't be telling all the other folks that we using BMF. No, BMF stands for something here, stands for something else. Big Money Family. And why are they a big money family? It's because you are getting the tools and the tips that you need for us to succeed in financial literacy. And it's not just for us, it's for the generation of us moving forward. So, of course, you know we got to bring him back. Every single week this month, we got to bring him back. He's back here in the stew making it do what it do. The one, the only, my guy, Biz Money Pro. What you got for us this week, brother?
Brap. I'm back.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man, I'm super excited again just to bring another topic of concentration, a topic of focus, for my small business entrepreneurs out there moving and shaking and grooving, providing for their families and the families that they support. I love it. We're going to go right into it this week. We're going to talk about bookkeeping versus accounting.
Ooh.
This right here.
Ooh.
Be like, this right here.
Yeah, you got to say
right
it like
here.
You got to say it like Cat Williams.
Listen. One of the things I can say when it comes you hear people talk about starting businesses and they always talk about like your team, your executive team, having your attorney, having your CPA, and those things are pricey, especially the attorney piece. Like we already know attorneys, they going to get you. But I will say, and even a financial planner, I will say probably one of the most impactful people in your executive team, and they probably get paid the least because I talk to them all the time, is your CPA or your accountant, the person who's actually filing your taxes. But I want to say there's a huge missing piece that doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to quality accounting, and that's bookkeeping. And because before there's quality accounting, there should be quality bookkeeping. And I'm going to, once again, I like to give analogies and stories. I learned a long time ago, facts tell, but stories sell. So the story of bookkeeping, versus accounting, because you got to know the difference. Bookkeeping is your internal record keeping of how you are spending your money. So this means that anything that any money spent that's related to that business that you own, there should be a ledger or there should be some type of record keeping of every penny spent towards that business, about that business, for that business. And when I say spent, meaning if you're buying a notebook, because you're taking notes, for your business, that's part of bookkeeping. That needs to be registered. It needs to be put down. I don't care if it's Excel, an app, or whatever have you, but internally, you should always know your numbers, right? And then, of course, the accounting part of that is that because if I know my numbers, and then now when I go to my accountant, and I know in the beginning, people are looking at going to their accountant once a year, but I'm going to go into a deeper dive into that. When you start doing bigger business, when you start getting to that, in my personal opinion, you start making at least about $250,000 a year or more in a business. That's normally an indication of hey, I got something here, and this could really, I can take this to the next level. So therefore, with that, now that level, because remember, you're dealing with bigger numbers, you might want to start going to your CPA maybe every quarter to do a reconciliation from your bookkeeping to the accounting, making sure things match, making sure you're not missing nothing, and almost more importantly, especially for business owners, is keeping an eye on that tax revenue, on that tax expense, because remember, as we make more, sometimes there can possibly be more taxes. And that's, and believe it or not, that's a problem you want to have. You want to have you want to get to the point to where your business is actually paying taxes, because normally, typically, if your business is paying taxes, that means that you're making some sort of profit. If your business is not paying taxes, And granted, we already know we know that there's some creative people out here with the numbers and all that fun stuff. But I always tell people because I hear people always talking about, oh, you're a business owner, write it off, write it off. Well, you got to make the money to have something to write off. So if you're not making the money, that's not even going to help you. So once again, the other thing too about bookkeeping, because there's also some overzealous, or just very aggressive business owners to where in the process of you growing or building one business, you start another one. So now what that means from a bookkeeping standpoint is now this is a new folder. This is a new chapter, meaning that now that new business now gets a totally separate bookkeeping folder or, focus as the other business, which means like you need to separate things. Like everything doesn't go under one business if you started a second business. Now you have to have another level or layer of bookkeeping because you got to know, hey, what things went to business A, what things went to business B. That's a big part of it. You don't want to commingle. That's when you start messing up. And I'm just going to talk about, because I see this a lot in some, and believe it or not, in some of the bigger businesses, the businesses that where people are making 7 and 8 figures. What happens is they might not spend as much time on the bookkeeping. However, they are very, very concerned about their accounting because remember, the accounting is what basically sets up what their tax liability is going to be. So when they go to that CPA, when they go to that accountant, and when they give them the numbers or whatever have you, and let's just say the record keeping is not really super tight, and then the CPA says, hey, your tax bill is $200,000 or X amount of dollars or a dollar amount that's more than what you expect, and you're scratching your head saying, oh, why? How the heck did my tax liability get to this? I don't have more expenses or I don't have more of this. Well, remember, it starts with bookkeeping. It starts with the record keeping of all of the dollars spent around your business. And as your business grows, that's an investment. You have to invest in either technology and or a person, a CFO, somebody who does know how to do that at a very high level. And then, of course, you as the owner, you have to be transparent with the expenses in the way that you're spending the money. And I will say this is going to be a big impact when you're, because once again, a lot of my clients are, in very good positions. When I say good positions, meaning like they're over that $1 million in revenue, situation, 5 million, 10 million or whatever have you. So when I'm going to the bank and asking for larger lines of credit, like, I'm past business credit cards or whatever, we're asking for 250, $500,000, $1 million. They want to see that you are very much in control and you have a clear picture of where your expenses are, your bookkeeping, your accounting. They want to see that by financial documentation. So when they ask for documents, P&L, balance sheets, they want to see it quickly. They don't want to see that it takes you a whole month to get that one document. So once again, remember, good accounting starts with good bookkeeping. So at whatever level, there are so many different services and products to get good bookkeeping, and we can definitely help you with that. By all means, once again, Marcus Knuckles, a.k.a. the Biz Money Pro, from the Enhancement Group. By all means, everybody, you know where to reach me at now, at Biz Money Pro or at the Enhancement Group LLC. I'm here for you. Keep earning, keep earning, keep earning.
And you know why? That's why I said nobody beats the biz. Nobody beats the biz. Part of our Big Money Family, our version of BMF on Wealthy Wednesdays, giving you the financial tools you need to succeed. And that's what we do each and every Wednesday. Get used to it because that's what we are doing to get better at being better in all aspects of this life.